President Mohammed Shahabuddin resigns. Speaker becomes acting president. US imposes new tariffs on 60 countries, including Bangladesh. Protests continue across India. Delhi High Court designates fast-track court. Well, good evening, viewers. Those were the headlines. I'm Salehin Kadir, and you're watching English Bulletin. We now follow up with the details, showing the cause of various health complications. President Mohammed Shahabuddin has resigned. He sent the resignation letter to Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmed at around 5 p.m. today. At a press conference at the oath-taking room in the Parliament around 5:30 p.m., Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmed said the President's resignation has been accepted. Now Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmed will serve as the acting president until the election of a new president. In the resignation letter, Mohammed Shahabuddin wrote he's suffering from various health complications, including heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes and kidney disease. He also mentioned that he underwent a bypass surgery earlier. In such situation, he is unable to continue with the constitutional post as a president. In these circumstances, under the constitutional provision, the president announced his resignation. Following the resignation of the president, now it has become a talk of the country. Who could be the 23rd president of Bangladesh? BNP's Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir's name as president was in various discussions, and it reduced following the parliamentary elections. However, Mirza Fakhrul skipped a query of the journalists regarding the matter at a function in Dhaka on Friday. Meanwhile, names of senior BNP leaders Dr. Khondakar Musharraf Hussain, Dr. Abdul Moin Khan and Nazrul Islam are being strongly discussed as a possible precedent. Besides, the name of Cabinet Secretary Nasimul Ghani is also being discussed. However, following the President's resignation, now Prime Minister and BNP Chairman Tariq Rahman will take final decision. Criminal activity has taken serious turn across the country, says Jamaat-e-Islami Amir and leader of the opposition Dr. Shafiqur Rahman. He made the comment at Jamaat's Dhaka District Unit Rukun Conference at Diploma Engineers Institute in Dhaka on Friday. The Jamaat chief blamed that Bangladesh is facing crisis of local and foreign investment due to corruption and bribe. He said the issue of referendum will be resolved on the street like that of July if it does not get resolved in the parliament. Talking on border issue, Dr. Shafiqur Rahman warned that the neighboring country will not remain in peace if peace is hindered in Bangladesh. A technical malfunction at the LNG terminal off Maheshkhali of Cox's Bazar has reduced gas supply to the national grid. It has triggered a severe shortage of CNG in Dhaka and other parts of the country. In Dhaka, number of vehicles plying on roads is low on the holiday. However, long queues formed at the filling stations, while several stations temporarily stopped selling CNG. After hours of waiting, the vehicles like microbuses are not getting CNG of even Dhaka 200 due to low pressure of gas in the line. CNG-run auto rickshaw gets CNG worth Dhaka 45 to 50. The United States has imposed new tariffs on the good imports from 60 countries, including Bangladesh, range 10 to 12%, 0.5%. The new tariff has come into effect on Friday. The Trump administration introduced the new measures, alleging that the countries had failed to adequately enforce bans on forced labor. Bangladesh has been subjected to a 10% tariff. Some of the trading partners facing a 10% tariff include India, Sri Lanka, United Kingdom, Canada, Mexico and Argentina. Analysts say the new US tariff will create extra pressure on the export sector of Bangladesh. 38 countries will face a tariff of 12.5% tariff. They include China and Vietnam. US ally Israel has also been hit with a 12.5% tariff. India youth-led protests spread to several cities as Cockroach Janata Party (CJP) formally called for nationwide protests on Friday to demand the education minister's resignation. Delhi High Court designated special fast-track court to hear criminal cases relating to question paper leaks and other unfair practices in public examinations. The CGP demonstrations have become one of the most sustained waves of public dissent against Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government in recent times. Thousands have joined Friday's nationwide protests was issued in solidarity with students who were beaten by police during a march to Parliament on Monday. Meanwhile, activist and Sonam Wangchuk ended a 26-day hunger strike today that helped galvanize a youth movement that's become one of India's largest protests. Viewers, we now follow up a short break and we will be back soon with US to use frozen Iranian assets to fund war damages. Welcome back. You're watching ATN News. This is English Bulletin. Follow on. Newly appointed Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Khondakar Misbah al-Azim paid tribute to members of armed forces who were martyred during 1971 Liberation War. He laid a wreath at Shikha Nirban at Dhaka Cantonment and later signed the visitors' book there. A smartly turned out naval contingent presented Vice Admiral Misbah al-Azim with a guard of honor. The new Navy Chief inspected the guard and took the salute. The principal staff officers and other senior Bangladesh Navy officials attended the ceremony. Bangladesh received $2.17 billion in remittances during the first 22 days of July. It has reflected the continued strong flow of money sent home by expatriate Bangladeshis. According to the latest Bangladesh Bank data, expatriates sent $2.17 billion in remittances during July 1 to 22, up from $1.759 billion received during the corresponding period of July 2025. On July 22 alone, inward remittances amounted to $75 billion. Border Guard Bangladesh (BGB) has foiled a pushing attempt of 15 people by Indian Border Security Force (BSF) through Kushtia and Chapai-Nawabganj borders. On Friday dawn, BGB Kushtia Battalion resisted 8 people to enter Bangladesh through river through the Jaipur border. Later, they returned them to India. Meanwhile, around 6:30 a.m., BSF tried to push 7 people into the Charaldanga border of Gamastapur Upazila of Chapai-Nawabganj. On receiving the information, the patrol team of BGB received and reached the spot and stopped them at the border. Later in the afternoon, commander of 16th BGB Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Mohammed Ariful Islam Masoom, said that the 7 people are currently staying in the Indian part of the zero line. Viewers will now take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching English Bulletin. We now begin with news around the world. US President Donald Trump said that the United States would use Iranian assets held by US to pay for any damages to ships or anything related thereto. Meanwhile, the US CENTCOM claims to complete strikes on Iran for 13 consecutive nights, targeting military command centers, drone storage facilities, and coastal maritime capabilities. Amid intensifying tensions, Donald Trump said the damage to ships and cargo will be paid for by Iranian money that US has in its possession, and the amount could be substantial. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi commented, "Those who celebrate or profit from such funds should remember that once governments normalize confiscation, no one's assets are safe. Ensuring chaos will not be pretty or peaceful." Global oil prices surpassed $100 per barrel for the first time since May as escalating conflict in the Middle East reignited fears over global energy supplies. Brent crude rose over 6% and settled at $100.69 per barrel, marking its highest close since May 22, while US West Texas Intermediate crude climbed to $92.19 per barrel, its highest close since June 4. Gas prices have also risen steadily over the past month, with the benchmark UK gas price currently at around 150 per tariff. Analysts believe prices spiked after Yemen's Houthi attacked oil tankers in Red Sea, threatening key export route that Saudi Arabia used to bypass the Hormuz Strait. Dear viewers, singer Runa Lela's solo performance is underway at Shilpakola Academy. And now we begin with sports news. Commonwealth Games 2026 begun with a grand opening ceremony in Glasgow, Scotland. Swimmer Samuel Islam Rafi served as a flag bearer for Bangladesh, and fellow swimmer Sonia Akhtar participated as a baton bearer during the event. Glasgow welcomes thousands as the 23rd Commonwealth Games begun with a colourful ceremony in Hydro Arena, Scotland. From stunning musical performances and Scottish cultural celebrations to the Parade of Nations and the official opening of the Games, this ceremony marked the beginning of 11 days of world-class sporting action featuring over 3,000 athletes from 74 nations. The event also featured a memorable appearance by King Charles III along with Queen Camilla, who officially declared the Games open. Argentina centre-back Nicolas Otamendi has announced his retirement from international football. His final appearance for the national team came following the World Cup final against Spain on Sunday. The 38-year-old La Albiceleste defender announced his retirement on Thursday, bringing the curtain down on a 17-year career during which he won the 2022 World Cup and 2 Copa America titles. Otamendi made 139 appearances for his country and was part of the squad that reached this year's FIFA World Cup final, in which the defending champions were beaten 1-0 by Spain in MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. Well, before ending the bulletin, we have top stories once again. President Mohammed Shahabuddin resigns. Speaker becomes acting president. US imposes new tariffs on 60 countries, including Bangladesh. Protests continue across India. Delhi High Court designates fast-track court. US to use foreign frozen Iranian assets to fund war damages. And Argentina defender Otamendi retires from international football. Well, that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. Until then, see you soon.